Hello. So, a few years back, I was standing on the balcony in my office. I was working. So, I was just kind of lost. My trust was not kind of, shaken in people, in relationships, in the whole give and take system. I was so cynical about why anybody gives anything, because everything is business. Everything is everybody's. Every interaction is so mean because they only do things for themselves. They don't really care. Michael Jackson's "They Don't Really Care About Us" often kept ringing in my head. And I was seeing more and more how that seems to be true. That's more true than not. And I was wondering, how can that be? Because life continues to be. There are babies, there are people get married, and there are trees growing, and time's moving. So why would all that be happening if nobody really cares? I mean, something or somebody there is care in some way, because of which there is all of this new growth and things happening. So I was sort of confused between what I was receiving, what I was, seemed to be getting, because there is so much of meanness, and I was losing my trust in people, in myself, in relationships. My heart was broken, so to speak. And then I had to figure out why to be, why to live, in light of what I see around, that people seem to have found it. They were getting married, there were babies, and they go about making investments, and life seems to be going on fine for everybody else. So I was like, what is it I'm missing? And then I was, with all of these things going on, I was working, and I was traveling largely. Basically what I was doing was working and then traveling from home and office. Sleeping, eating, continuing the same things. It was pretty much this. And then one of those times during a tea break, I went up to the balcony and I saw a poster right opposite my office building. I don't really remember which was this brand, but it said, "Life is calling, where are you?" It was there for anybody to see. But it made sense to me. Like when I saw that message as, what if it was personal to me? Like if it was really that life is calling, that life is in some way always talking, and life is calling out. And where are you? That gave me pause. First, I regarded life to be a person. And then I also noticed that, there are all of these movements happening. And I was wondering if maybe I'm not paying attention to what life is saying. So then I started sort of looking up at what's my position? How am I placed in the whole scheme of things? What roles do I play? Well, that came much later. Well, that came a few steps later. I started sort of seeing, how am I placed in the scheme of things? What is my position? Well, I'm an employee to begin with. I'm also a daughter because I'm going home. And then I'm a citizen because I'm at that point in time, 26, I suppose, 26, 27. So I'm a citizen because I vote. And then I don't really know what that means. I'm an employee, I'm a citizen, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a neighbor, and these are all words. And I had to really think up. I actually looked up on the dictionary what these words mean. Because they're all names of relationships, and relationships are all seeming to be very mean, all a sort of business, because everybody's doing things for their own sake, and it seemed like nobody really cares about me, about what I want. I'm not even seen as an individual. So then it was like, what do I trust? Whom do I trust? Why do I trust? Why do I trust first most? So again, I'm going, and it seems like I'm, going around the same point, but the point is, the point did come to, you know what Sartre would say? Life is empty and meaningless, and it's empty and meaningless, and it's empty and meaningless. I participated in the landmark education programs before I could get introduced with this sentence. I may have read it somewhere, but made no sense. Didn't make any sense even when I was in the program. Because it's an experience, and the point is, in all of this relationships, in the goings on, what that means is, we are, it's as though we are a part of, it's as though we are a part. There are people, and then we are all different individual parts. And our experience of wholesomeness becomes limited when we see ourselves as parts. Until we begin to see, how is this whole? What makes the whole? And then what role we play in this whole. And that's when we begin to see we may not be just a part, but a part that matters in the whole scheme of things. A part who's playing a role, and it's not a small role. How each one of us, this may seem cliche, it's more like we are all parts, it's like machine parts. There's one big machinery, and if that gear does not function the way that gear has to function, the whole does not function, perhaps would not function, because that gear is missing. So each one of us is like that part, playing a significant role, and if it doesn't function, everything goes sort of higgledy-piggledy. So it is important to see what role we play, no matter what our placement is, no matter what our station in life is, no matter what role we play. We may be a student, we may be a housekeeper, we could be a sentry, we could be anything, even a baby. Each person plays a significant role in the whole scheme of things. You matter. So an individual is not just an individual. An individual is just as important as the whole. I hope this gives you food for thought. So no matter what you regard to be, today we are having all the challenges we are facing, yet you play a very important role in how life is in this moment. And you have within you, because you have a beating heart, you have blood moving through your body, you have breath moving through your body. These are forces by which you keep your system, your engine moving. When your engine is moving, because you're a part of a whole, the whole moves too. At least you doing your role depends on how you exert, how your heart beats. When your respiration is not moving as well, you can breathe in such a way so that your lungs are functioning. And then this part is functioning. When you as a part is functioning, that sort of pushes up the gear for every other part that you are a part of. Your family maybe, because you're exerting yourself, others find the wherewithal with which to exert themselves. And that's how we push our system forward. That may be sluggish right now because of all the COVID and stuff. But when you push, do your part and exert that extra and go that extra mile, everybody's able to do that. And that's how we bring our economy, we bring our health back, we bring life back to how it needs to be functioning. Thank you for listening. Namaste.